I bought this shelf months ago, finally doing it. I had to take a break from writing, so I could get something done. Alright, so I'm going to put a base rack on the bottom with, I need the longer posts in there. Okay. This morning, I was watching the usual stupid news on television. And it's been at least a decade of Trump. A decade. Drama, lies, scandals, I mean, you name it. A whole decade of that. And I'm sure sick of it, that's for sure. I was thinking that, you know, he's not going to be here forever. He's not immortal. I'm sure some people believe he is, but he's not. So, you know, either he's going to pass away like every one other human being on this planet, or he's going to get so sick that he's not able to function in his role and, you know, have to leave on an article or Amendment 25. You know, or he could resign because he's just had enough and he's gotten everything he needs out of it. That's a possibility. He could get impeached at some point because there are so many crime allegations against him. That's definitely a possibility. Or he could ride it out to the end of his term and we have another 3 long years of baloney. In any case, there will be an end. When there's an end, I was thinking about all of the politicians, all of the news media, like mainstream media, all the podcasters. I write articles on Medium, and a lot of people write articles on Medium that are very politically driven. And I was thinking, okay, when the drama's all done and gone, and we don't have to listen to it anymore, what are they going to talk about? What's going to happen to their businesses? Like Parker and Dean, they have those debate podcasts they do, where they're trying to convert MAGAs. So what are they going to do? They're young, they're really smart, they have a lot going for them. Maybe they'll become attorneys or politicians themselves, but the podcasts and so forth are not going to have the drama that Donald Trump has brought to us that we've all become addicted to in some way. We've all become addicted to scandals, lies, arguing about it all. I mean, that's become our life. I don't like it. I think it sucks. So, I would be quite happy if we didn't have to do that anymore. But what would life be like then? What would happen? Like, now would we... I did that wrong. I'm going to go down from the top. Okay. Yeah, so... no more drama. And then, we have no drama. So, you know, what do? We start watching calm things, which would be nice. It'd be nice to have calm things in our life. It'd probably be pretty boring. You might not really stick with watching them. I don't know. Maybe we'd start doing other stuff like organizing a cupboard, building racks. Other stuff. Because to show, you know, there is a life. You're not owned. Anyway, so we don't have the drama anymore. That's all gone. So then what happens? We start, maybe Facebook goes back to pictures of babies and puppy dogs, family gatherings. Maybe there's normalcy and affordability. Maybe that happens. I don't think we're going to go back to where we were before. It's just not in the cards. We're going to be different. We're going to be a democracy. We're going to have our Constitution still. But it's going to be fair and sane. That's what I'm feeling. It's not going to be this, Jesus, it's so freaking ridiculous. All right, one shelf done. Woohoo!
But mine is yours.
All right, yeah, I could stick them all together and just take one.
I'm not ordering.
Okay.
You got to put the shelf on first. No?
I'm following the instructions,
Right.
unlike normal. Hi, Claude. So I have a question for you. Okay, I have a question. Let's imagine it's 5 years from now, and Donald Trump is done and long gone, and we are in recovery. Or we've recovered. I don't know which. But what would be the projection? What would people predict life will be like in 5 years in terms of economy, world affairs, and politics, or, I guess the political environment, including like immigration and racism and freedom of speech and all of that sort of stuff. What would it look like in about 5 years if Donald Trump was gone in the next month or so, and most of his cabinet is gone as well? Can you give me a projection? Okay, so I asked Claude if there's projections or predictions being made by people out there who are experts on various elements of our life, and could they give me a projection of 5 years out, assuming that Trump was already out of office this year? And here's some of what they said. On the economy, if Trump were gone by early 2026, most projections suggest recovery would take time. Economists currently forecast around 2 to 4% growth by 2031, which is modest by historical standards. There's real concern about tariff damage lingering. Businesses would need a year or two to readjust supply chains and pricing. The debt burden he's created wouldn't disappear overnight either. So interest rates and borrowing rates would probably stay elevated for a while. On the world stage, the picture is concerning. Global confidence in America would likely rebuild, but grudgingly, De-dollarization, countries moving away from using the US dollar, is already happening, and reversing that takes years. Our relationship with Europe and traditional allies would need serious repair work. Politically and socially, the real damage is institutional. Over 300,000 federal workers have left, draining expertise from science and government. Democratic norms would need genuine rebuilding. Courts and Justice Department, civil service protections all need restoration. Democracy experts suggest that it's a 5 to 10-year project, not a quick fix. So maybe I'll still be alive when it gets repaired. On immigration and racism specifically, those are thorny because the rhetoric alone has emboldened hate crimes and anti-Asian incidents. Rolling back that cultural damage takes longer than changing policy. You'd likely see immigration reform attempts, but they'd be contentious and slow because public attitudes have shifted harder toward restriction. So I'm asking, if we all turn to love and kindness, what would that do to shift this possible outcome? When communities shift toward what researchers call pro-social behavior, cooperation, empathy, civic trust, measurable things change. Crime rates drop. Political polarization softens. Economic productivity actually improves because trust reduces friction in transactions and institutions. Robert Putnam's famous work on social capital showed that communities with high trust and connection consistently outperform disconnected ones on almost every metric. On the political level, love and kindness showed up as something specific. The willingness to see the humanity in people you disagree with. When that becomes a natural form rather than a private virtue, it changes who gets elected, what policies feel acceptable, and how institutions treat vulnerable people. For immigration and racism specifically, empathy is actually the most powerful predictor of attitude change. When people personally know someone from a different background, their views consistently soften. That's love in its most practical, ground-level form. The challenge, and they're saying I know this from my own teaching, is that love and kindness have to be practiced, not just proclaimed. A whole country saying, be kind, without doing the inner work doesn't move a needle. But a generous grassroots shift in how people treat each other locally, in schools, neighborhoods, workplaces, that ripples out in ways that top-down policy simply can't do. Hey, interesting. What do you think about that? What would it be like if we just were able to do that and not have all this bullshit going on? God, it's so maddening. Ugh. Maddening, I tell you. This morning, Metatron commented that the need for inner work is really high. And inner work, inner growth, self-care, all of that is paramount to us succeeding as a country. There's just no other way around it. Policy, politicians, lawmakers, they can put the checks and balances in place, but they cannot make us into a people who give a shit about each other. pretty much it. And until we do that, we just keep going through this same cycle. We're on that hamster wheel, just doing it over and over and over again, so that I get to die in my old age with nothing resolved. And I'm not happy about that at all. I have children and grandchildren, and I want to see them have a happy life. I want them to be in a safe place, productive, and doing things they love. I mean, the answer really is so simple. You know, I think so many people are just so not just stuck in hate, but actually enjoying it. Jesus, how is that a possibility? Maybe it'll get worked out. I hope it is that it will. Isn't that looking good? So maybe we shut the damn television off. Maybe we stop listening to the news on the radio or wherever you do it. Maybe we start building shelves, cutting a lawn, planting a garden, visiting your aunt. You know, normal stuff. Stop tuning in to all the crap. And that's the first step in inner work. That's what you have to do. You have to remove yourself from that variable that just makes us crazy. So start there. Why not? What's it going to hurt? I mean, if I don't watch the news for a whole day, does anything really change? No. It might present a new drama, but I have no control over it. Nothing I can do about it. You know, unless somebody says, a missile is pointing toward my house, that's the only thing I can do is like maybe get in the car and drive away. But other than that, there's nothing that we can do to affect it by listening to all of the garbage. It's just not going to change anything. These jars they have baby formula in them because I mistakenly bought baby formula when I thought I was buying powdered milk. But I didn't realize it for a really long time, or I would have given them away. Oh well. You know, on The Walking Dead, they were searching for baby formula when Judith was born. I guess, I think that probably was at least 5 years old by that time. I don't know. He was pretty old. So, if she made it, we all will. If I decide to actually make this video or post it, I'll really go fast through all the building parts so you don't have to endure it. You might see my tongue sticking out a lot because I think with my tongue out. Can't help it. Oh, for me. Yes. Good job. Oh, my girl. You're a good girl. Yeah. Well, your feet are not cold. Yeah. All right, that's it.